I think the winner of this next match is going to have a little bit of a mission to try and beat Nebula, especially if he's going to keep this form. But
yeah, indeed.
So the winner of this next match, well, we didn't even know what this match was going to be until this morning, since Cotter versus C-Rams went to 9 rounds of balcony overtime last week. It was rescheduled for this week, where it again went to overtime, only for 3 rounds this time.
Before it finally ended, yeah.
Managed to pull out a sweep. So we have C-Rams versus Wrestler. It could have so easily been Cotter, I think. And then this match was played immediately afterwards. So I think it's going to be an interesting match to watch C-Rams play, given that usually what he's known for is a lot of prep, a lot of research. And in this case, he didn't really have that. I imagine he just had to prep for, winning the match versus Cotter before he could worry about any kind of prep for Wrestler. And going into this, already having played a long match, and presumably with less prep than usual, I'm going to be interested whether he's warmed up and just onto spontaneous play, or whether it's going to impact his play.
Yeah, it definitely just like good points there. The one that really sticks out to me is that having just played a match that went to overtime, that's an exhausting thing to do, especially when it's close, especially when, your tournament life is riding on it. Having to go from that to rolling into your next match again for your tournament life to try to get to these semifinals. I do not envy C-Rams that position. But, and of course, Wrestler is a pretty strong opponent, has been performing very, very well so far.
Yes, I think Wrestler, one of our reasonably veteran at this point, very solid players. I think C-Rams has often managed to play up quite a lot because of the time he takes preparing. And so this will be, I think, an interesting one.
Yep.
So the draft?
The draft is, we have Wrestler picks Ice Cubism, and C-Rams picks 4-play. So there's the exact same venue sets we had for our last match. We ban Tayen from C-Rams, and Wrestler bans Veranda. So was that the same band we had last time as well?
I think it... Yeah, it is. It's exactly the same draft.
No, well, the doubles are different. We have a double of pub and a double of library rather than of ballroom and gallery. So, but very similar drafts. We're going to see a lot of similar play throughout this one, but from very different players. And I'll be interested to see who can really come out on top in this one.
All right. Well, starting it out in double 3 of 7 pub, which I'm going to say is not the one I would have imagined would be being doubled here. The swingy venue of pub to start us out in this set.
All right, let's get it going. Wrestler on the spy side playing as Disney in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I imagine the 3 sets of balcony that C-Rams has just played might be, coming in useful here. Playing another 3 of X venue.
Wrestler with the twitch on the pad to reset the fact that it was a white flirt, going for that green. A nice little tech that I think really got started using after the speedrunning scene started. I used that in a couple competitive matches, and it's there. It's definitely a thing you can do, especially when it's not likely to be noticed by the sniper. We didn't really have an angle to see a twitch there from Wrestler, so I like that, especially on a venue like pub when you have not much time to be flirting.
Yes, and already with the print, we're in a very good position, pacing-wise.
2 green
Here comes the
flirt.
second green test.
You know what I want to see, Scout? I want to see us go to bar right now and direct the purloin, hit the green test, and win the game right there. The problem with this is, unfortunately, we can't do that from this spot because the list disappearing will be obvious. You had to go over to the far side of the bar because when you take the list over there, the far side of the bar, Toby's not. If there are no other guests that are asking Toby for a drink, then he won't move. Unfortunately, we missed the green test on the fingerprint, so we are now in a much less strong spot than we were, but we had a very, very fun idea for an interesting spy game there that did not quite materialize.
We now have the double agent joining us, which we might not have actually wanted, given that traps us in this conversation for a while, and there's just so many people out of conversation.
If we contact, and we can maybe...
Okay,
so I would have liked to see a contact and delegate, is what I would have liked to see.
Instead, just the delegate, which I'm not sure will even come off, given that there's suddenly quite a bar queue built up.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think there might be a print on statues, so we could go for that as well, but I could be mistaken.
We're quite close to this.
Yeah, delegate timer expires. Unfortunately, Wrestler, who started off with just a strong, quick start, comes down to the wire on pub. It might be difficult to finish from here. Finally, Ambassador's putting a print on there. I think we should white time ad and try to just go for that. But I don't know if we survive a white time ad.
I'm not sure if we even need the white time ad. Actually, no, we do need the time ad.
There's 10 seconds left on the clock.
All we need is an inspect and a print. Here's the green.
I think that this, it is actively a mistake to go for a green time ad here, unfortunately. I think we're pretty close to dead either way, but, now, CRMs could theoretically wait for overtime. We didn't actually wait for overtime, which I think a small mistake on CRM's part, but, irrelevant in this case. But if you white time ad there, you can get to mission win countdown without triggering overtime, without saying to the sniper, hey, I am definitely done with missions right now.
Yes, and I think it was also less noticeable for the beeps to stop. It's easy to just confuse that to, getting to a clock hang early, whereas the slowing down of beeps is very unmissable.
Yeah, I've definitely, looked up and realized, oh, this isn't a clock hang, this is a time ad, which gives me extra information, but also means that there's a little bit more sweating about mission win countdown.
Yes.
CRM's now on the spy side, playing as general. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Going to start straight off with the flirt. Another green test, and immediately on to the far
Alright, we're seeing some very fast flirting from our spies, and I like that. Especially on this venue.
Yeah, I think it's so much more worthwhile on these shorter time venues to take the extra risk of being caught cheesing. Especially if we can hit this second flirt.
We can. Flirt is entirely done. You know what I'd like to see right now? We go inspect swap for Alice, for Ponytail in the back there. We're in mission win countdown with 1:45 left on the clock, and there's a possibility of a missed shot anyway. I want to see it from CRMs. This is the kind of rush that can really be, huge from the perspective of a 2-flirt. We are going to go into statues here. We might go for the swap, but this is that front statue that can be really hard to swap.
Interesting that Alice was low-lit for that briefcase return.
Yeah, we don't unfortunately go for that swap. I would have loved to see it, especially because there was indeed another guest at that statue before us, so it would have been a possibility. Instead, we're going to go back to this very, very far conversation, not immediately going in for that contact.
Are we lining up to try and take a walking back bug on the way back?
We very well could be, but after getting that statue inspect, I don't think it would be, better than a contact, especially when we are very obviously not flirting.
Yes, the issue is that the more time that goes past, the less of an advantage this fast flirt was. Taking a contact early is so strong just because it's so much less likely to induce a shot, whereas now time's just gone by, and if Wrestler hasn't been looking at who we've been flirting with or not, he'll just be willing to credit that flirt anyway.
I think that CRMs is hoping that the fact that we got done with flirt so quickly, unfortunately the double agent leaves. That's going to make things a lot more difficult. It is, going back to a different conversation, so we could follow, but that makes things a little bit more likely that we're going to get shot because of that movement late in the game.
Yeah, now we're under a lot of pressure, and if we go and swap at this point, we're almost entirely dead.
We have to just go for it here. Unfortunately, the SDA's not even in with all of these highlights that... Okay, Sorry does join, so there's going to be a contact here. Unfortunately, it's a white test, so there will be overtime for Wrestler to consider. Contact comes off. What's the response? 6 seconds. We're going to see about 2 seconds of overtime, but 1.5 of that might be from... Okay, yeah, we do take the shot just right before OT actually starts. Wrestler willing to do it, and starts out the set with a, you know... A nice little shot there, but it's just 1-1.
I think if Wrestler had waited for overtime, it would have been getting very close to the threshold of too late for sync.
Yeah, that was the big concern that I was looking at. You know, when that time, you know, that countdown was coming, and Wrestler, you know, aware of that threat, so take the shot a little bit early.
Yes, able to differentiate, presumably mostly just on behaviorism. The difference between Sari, who played basically the same game as we did, also had a white contact, and us, and picking.
Well,
the right
also
spot.
had a like a random briefcase in there, so, or you know, maybe had less potential for flirt. So Wrestler now on the spy side playing as Teal. Second set of pub games in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Not going very well for either spy, despite the
I mean,
and
again, we're seeing just so much of these aggressive flirts, and in fact, we just kind of wrap back around to go right back with our ST. That's so much fun. I love this. And if we hit the second green test, you know what I want, Scout. I want some kind of rush.
You want an inspect swap?
I want an inspect swap. I want like a bug inspect. I want a, you know, something that's gonna use the fact that this flirt has happened so quickly and the sniper might not be ready to shoot for it.
I think we were a little bit sad that we lost okay, there's 100% flirt. We lost the double agent, but Wrestler looks like
it looks like we're going for contact here, which is pretty reasonable given how many people are in conversation. In fact, only 2 people are out. Unfortunately, one of them is the SDA. Well, make that 4 people, as a couple of people leave during the talk here. However, we could just go for a statue now and say, "Are you going to shoot me?"
Yeah, I think the most challenging thing at this point is to go for an inspect. The issue is that, you know, how much is it behavioral that Wheels had already had his inspect and then got contact, and we're going to be going after contact? Or we know, not at all, to bar.
We go to bar. There's some option for a direct purloin. There's some option for a delegate. We actually reject, and we might go over for inspects after rejecting a little bit of this, you know, behavioral idea where instead of going straight for that statue, we give that little step in between that spies might not think about, and AIs just might randomly go into. Inspect is done. 8 seconds to shoot, but CREMS finds the shot.
I think it's really interesting that Wheels doesn't get shot here. You know, when Wheels already had the inspect and then contact was said, just so much less willing to take that shot than the much more traditional spy way around of getting contact first. But so far, no luck for spies.
No, indeed, no luck for spies yet. But now we have CRAMs on the spy side again, playing as Seek this time. Let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And AI controlled through the doorway. Not willing to so obviously chase our seduction target this time.
Quick timeout early on, a different way of handling that little, you know, pacing issue that this venue can present. Instead of doing a really quick flirt, we see that early timeout.
And I don't think there's any notice of that being taken. Even if Wrestler was guarding timeout quite hard, there were 3 other people at windows with us, so a decent amount of cover.
Take the delegate option, of course, as we get a drink here. We do want to start flirting. We're back down to the base amount of time the venue starts with, so we're going to join our ST. It's basically the start of the game.
Start of the game, and we're getting our first flirt.
Unfortunately, this is a white test this time, and we've got quite a few lowlights from from Wrestler? I didn't realize that Wrestler put so much stock in that. But look at that, 5 lowlights. This party is all, like a third gone.
Which, I presume these are parting lowlights and not that he's belatedly noticed the time ad and can track who was and wasn't at Windows.
Well, I definitely saw a couple of people who were inside get low lit. Ponytail most notably, but she was at statues, so potentially did notice some of that time ad. Unfortunately, that ST walk away right as we got that green test.
So this is not looking amazing for C-Rams. We had the extra time, but rather than benefiting us by earning other people extra suspicion, it's just leaving more time for Wrestler to winnow down the party.
And look at that, bouncing from that twin there is going to earn a low light.
We're down to half the party, still in and going for this.
Yeah, how do we complete in this? How do we win this game? Not even just complete. How do we win? Our ST's walked away from us twice.
This and again, I mean, just like Nebula, completely at the 1 second you don't want to time ad, but seems to have gotten away with it again.
This time.
We probably need one more time ad if we want to win this game too.
Oh, this is a fingerprintable drink. It is a green test. We get there, and we're gonna delegate now to a low light, which actually could be useful. So we're looking probably to get 2 more flirts, get this print off the ground from the briefcase. The ambassador walks away, helping us out there, but I think he might be too close for us to go for it, so we don't. Oh man, this is all over the place from C-Rams. We really can't go for a contact here. But the timer expires on our purloin, so we must go for this contact, I think, and then go for a print, and then just try to finish off our flirt, but everything is in such a rough shape.
And there's only 3 people in the party who have real contacts, so...
And we are unfortunately
we're gonna have to finish flirt and finish prints.
In 54 seconds as one of 2 highlights in the party. Yeah, this is tough for C-Rams.
And I'm a little bit worried that we aren't motoring across that briefcase and taking it.
Our ST helps us out big time by coming to us here. Now we gotta go for that briefcase. We have to go now.
Yeah, we could do the briefcase, return it.
We don't have time for this, and now is someone taking the briefcase? Yes, General is taking the briefcase. Unfortunately, C-Rams left it a little bit too long and can't finish this game now. Shaking the camera.
Yeah, even with a trip across to crash bug and come back to finish flirt, it's rough timing wise.
Yeah, this game is going to end. Looks like in blood because we are going for that time ad here at the end. So we do see the shot come off onto C-Rams. Wrestler was more than on top of it. But that means we've broken even out of the first double venue.
Yes, I think both spies really getting a bit of rough luck there for C-Rams, having 2 bails from our ST.
Yeah, if that hadn't happened, that would have looked very different in terms of finishing.
So split out of the first double and into what's this?
It's Ballroom, woohoo! All right, Wrestler on Kane, trying to find the first spy win of the set in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Hey, look at that! We could cheese flirt.
This is somewhat painful conversation positioning, but it's fine because we'll be walking away.
Could be a purloin. Lots of things that it could be. We do walk away eventually.
And this is such a busy party that we could
go for a bug here as well with the ambassador standing there. Unfortunately, he starts moving, so we're just gonna go for our second flirt, which is a little bit more respectful, which surprises me because we could have gotten a 2 flirt if we had that green test. And we do. Yeah,
I think it might be a little bit misplaced respect because if we're seen leaving and coming back, we're going to get the suspicion anyway. Even if the sniper knows we can't have 2 flirted. Plenty of missions available here, though.
Yeah, this party feels very, very busy, which always is a bit annoying on Sniper. You go, come on, how's it got to be so busy? We did pick up a highlight for side inspects here. for the memorization there.
Yeah, which is not going to help us if we wanted to try and get a bug, which I think, given how crowded to the right-hand side the party is, there's a few good possibilities for bug. They're just going to
Bug
be a little
and
bit harder to get
Purloin
away with
are
now.
big options with the party this crowded to the right side.
Or microfilm, except that we're in the one part of the party that doesn't really have cover.
Well, given the angles being taken, we might be able to get away from it with it anyways, but it doesn't seem like Wrestler's interested.
Book goes back entirely innocently.
Yeah, lots of things being done a little bit too innocently here. You know, there were a lot of opportunities in this party, I feel like, that Wrestler, you know, just didn't really take any of them.
We could be going to center statue to finish in specs and finish flat. Because we're now getting down to, you know, a minute 20. This is already a little bit tight.
Yeah, not fun so far. Ambassador now in the back of the venue, behind some other people, behind Toby. Could see a bug, could see a Purloin. Those would be the quickest things to do right now, especially, you know, and our options are going to narrow and narrow more as we start running low on this clock. We're under a minute now.
This could be quite a good spot to Purloin, though.
Yeah, I like
Toby meshed in with everything else.
I would have liked to be to the right of where Tex is in terms of horizontal access on the venue in that conversation, because then Toby's kind of more in line with us and there's a bit more cover. And here comes a contact instead. We don't go for the Purloin anyway. This is not as good as a Purloin spot, but we might have to go for it anyway.
Interesting that C-Rams is low lighting for fake here.
Quick green test Purloin, but we were just double zoomed on during the reject, so I doubt we're gonna be able to get away with this. C-Ram just is double zooming constantly on this, and confidence on the fade takes the shot.
Yeah, very, very much on top of this. And so far it looks like C-Rams is just very well warmed up. The issue will be as it goes on, trying to keep that dominance on Sniper.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a long set, but it might not be long enough for that C-Rams is really tired yet. But again, as you mentioned, this is still early in this one, and this could go very long as well if we keep seeing sniper parties like this. So C-Rams is going to need to, I think, might just need to put this one away early, if we don't want to see a fatigue affecting the gameplay later down the line.
Well, as Salmon trying to rush up that stream.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I'm gonna rush as Salmon more just so I can hear you say that.
Look at that. It's a... Oh no, it's a white test.
It's a white test, and it's not a cheese this time, even though I think it would have been a nice one.
And we're settling in this conversation, which there's a decent amount of movement in this party. I think we could be even going for a bug round where Ambassador is standing right now. Either way, it looks like we're just happy to watch, wait, try and hope that Sari doesn't...
Drink is an interesting one. Now a difficult fingerprint. I can see a request here. Yep, and there it is from C-Rams. Going for a difficult drink fingerprint. A hard one to track. Often gets away. You know, snipers often miss that one, but we do have to hit that green test.
It's another white test on the flat.
Saving up the green for the fingerprint, Charlie.
Is there even a difficult on here? I haven't taken.
There should be. There is a potential bug here if we go wrong arm because of the party cover on the other side of the Ambassador, but we don't go for anything of the sort.
And now I'm starting to worry about how long we're spending now trying to go for a second timer flat.
We're gonna go for this print, right? Like, we know that's there. We requested for this. This is a very unfortunate fake.
Instead of a flat.
Yeah, I suspected that was just a mistake.
That loses 3 lowlights and someone who was at center statues, so that's quite rough.
Are we gonna see a print attempt on the string? Serums? Hello?
I think the answer is no.
You would
Even though we're going for the brief,
like Serum should be able to see, like, yeah, there it is, finally. It is the green test, but it's weird that we took so long to take it, because now, only now do we know that we have that print in hand. You wanna do that earlier on, when, you know, you might as well just get it done, just because then you know whether or not you can kind of go for that print.
This is a good second for real. We lose no more lowlights, so it turns out that we didn't actually lose too much.
Running short though. Is this a printable center statue? It kind of has to be. It is unfortunately not.
I think it is. And ambassadors. I mean, the briefcase is down, and I expect we're hoping to get it, but it's going to be very tight time-wise.
Shot just comes off anyway. Wrestler not, you know, just seeing this very, very spy-like move to the center statues at the you know, late timing, and takes a shot.
Willing to credit a whole mission here.
Quite possibly, you know, had one, you know, the difficult print, and was just trying to, you know, you know, crediting one print is a lot easier than crediting a whole mission, I think.
Yeah. Well, into Modar. Still tied up.
Still tied up, and still SpyParty, in fact. Snipers have not dropped a game yet in this set. Playing very, very well. Spies may be missing on some opportunities, but it, you know, that's the equilibrium we are at right now with these two players. Very well done. Wrestler now on the spy side of Modar, playing as Ponytail. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Going for that speed on this very large venue.
You know, Ponytail's not actually that fast. I mean, she's above average in speed, but she's not insanely fast.
She just looks like she's always...
Yeah, she you know, her walking cycle does make her... Oh, wow, we go for a bug here on the way out of this out of bar, right after being highlit, and the shot just is there. CRM saw it. CRM takes the shot. I like the attempt here from Wrestler. I think we wanted it to be a wrong arm bug, but I just think that this angle is a little bit too awkward, because when we are able to trigger this, we're already too far away for it to hit. Just in terms of the path
we
we're
also
trying to take.
spend an illegally short time at bar. I think if we had waited a little bit, I don't know whether the amount of time that we were at bar made any difference in whether that shot was taken.
All right, Seagram's now on the spy side, playing as Plane Twin. Trying to pick up that again. Still trying to find that first spy win. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. What else can be said other than what we've already said?
Get schmoving and do things, basically.
Twin, another fast-looking character, although it's actually a little bit faster than Ponytail, I believe.
Really?
I'm relatively sure about that fact. They're both in the above-average speed category, for sure.
Okay. Starting out with a white chest, and again, not much inclination to immediately move on and start going places and doing things. If anything, I think we want to go for a trip to Windows before coming back and trying to finish, well, to get our second alert, just because we are so far away from our seduction target.
63% because we hit that green test, so we only need one medium distance green, or unfortunately 2 white tests.
Yes, they're having to bank on a green test to not have a full flight is a little bit uncomfortable.
This party is pretty inactive right now. Lots of people in conversation, which means that we maybe should have gone for like an early contact just because it'd be that effective. We see a highlight, but then a neutral light on 2 CRAMs. Maybe a bit of like a memory thing. You take the light.
I think
briefly.
what happened is Wrestler highlight, looks across to where the other spy was also highlighted, and
You mean the other twin?
Yeah.
Yes. That makes sense to me. People do like to keep one or the other highlight pretty often. ST coming to us? No, unfortunately not going to Windows. But that is a boon for us, the fact that we, our twin was already a highlight and we don't have to pick up that highlight for going to statues.
Whether or not we know that, I imagine you will have seen that laser movement and just assumed we are highlighted.
Well, that was never, unfortunately, going to be a completion because of the distance, but we don't hit the green test either way.
So, we're here with partial inspects and most of the flat. There's a print going down on bar, probably, but not so interested in that.
We go in for our second set of inspects. The other twin's also going in for inspect at the exact same time, so he might not even pick up a highlight now. But, don't be fooled. We are definitely on the sniper's radar.
It would be pretty funny if we went to swap for our other twin, but timing wasn't quite right for that.
Now, despite these, inspects being done, we still need some other mission completion here. Inspect, seduce, done, no contact yet, and we at least need one more hardtail or very, very fast prints, but prints are not looking likely at this point.
No. It looks like we're heading in to pick up a delegate, so we might be hoping to do a banana bread delegate. But
yeah.
The double agent's holding a book, which is bad news, because she might decide to leave and spend the last 30 seconds returning that.
Yes, indeed. That would be problematic for CRMs if that happened, but so far sticking soundly in that conversation. However, I have to imagine we're a pretty big suspect, despite the lack of a highlight. We're going to go out to Windows first. We're not going to go straight to this conversation, but I don't know that we really have the time to waste. Our twin comes into the conversation. If CRMs has been paying attention to this party, we might be able to go. No, but the double agent leaves. This is disastrous. Double agent coming back? What's going on? We delegate to our ST. She's going to Windows. We need one more mission, but we don't have the contact. We should have taken it earlier when all of the conversations were super full, it would seem, instead of going for those statues. But now, there's just nothing to do. Ambassador's so far away. 5 seconds is not going to be enough. We're going to have to go and time out. It's just nothing's going to work here. 45 seconds out of the clock. It's a white time ad. Oh, it's only 2 people left in the party now. Wrestler knows. And I suspect that we're the bigger suspect because we actually did the watch check animation and Disney did not. Whereas, you'd still keep Disney in just in case.
And he's down to a neutral light. On the other hand, that timeout did cover the list being gone.
Why are we not? We have to take a contact here. CRMs, I know it's bad, but we have to take a contact. And unfortunately, we just, we could have gotten into mission 1 count-in at the very least.
If we faked now,
now it's far too late. CRMs, I'm not sure what the decision was to not just take a contact. Like, this is just far too late. You don't even get the white contact off in time.
Yeah, just a little bit too slow. I don't know if we were just too scared of being shot when the contact came off, or what exactly the plan was.
Really, Whereas I do think that in this moment, when we go out to statues, we should have just gone for a contact instead, because there's not that many people out, there's not that much party activity happening. If we give everyone in this party contact, that accelerates it immediately. And sure, you get a couple of lowlights, but you're going to get a couple of lowlights anyway, and it's not so bad, even early on in this game.
Well, the reign of snipers continues. Just not quite working out for the spies.
Yeah, unfortunately, not working out for the spies quite yet. A little bit of panic at the end of that game, but now Wrestler on the spy side of Library 4 of 8, playing as Seek here. So let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Again, announcing for the 4 of 8 library, which I've been quite enjoying. I don't know if anyone's been playing enough of it to really have an opinion.
Purloin, we don't go for it.
instead, the party's just deciding to basically play pinball with its guests. Iceland not really making that much use of the very busy party still.
Yeah, again, this is a very fast start. And you don't necessarily need to make use of it by doing things here. You could just take solace in the fact that lots of guests are getting attention drawn to them, and you can use that later on in the party. But it is nice to get that, you know, directing mission progress in all of this chaos.
We managed to get this float off with our IST since they're spending a bit of time reading it at bust, I guess it is. And it's into the time ad window.
We do have a watch check, but no time ad. And we have our ST coming in kind of nearby, so we're going to take that opportunity.
And it's not a 2-float. In somewhat shock news, given how these players have been playing. Again, that we're now already basically down to 2 minutes, and this time Wrestler takes the time ad.
Yeah, I think this is a very smart decision from Wrestler here, needing a little bit more time to get that mission done, especially since we only have that flirt so far. And it's a green test, it's early on in the game, so unlikely to be caught, relatively speaking.
Waiting to do the fingerprint until we were stopped. Since the ambassador had reached the pad, but didn't hit that, and now fingerprints are a lot less likely on the table. And I think both spies here have been making a slight mistake in some ways. Okay, again, more time on the green time ad.
Yeah, lots and lots of time ads so far on this game. 2:50 on the clock in a game that starts with 3:30, I believe, or 3:45.
I think it's 3:30. But all we've achieved at this point is flirt and missing a fingerprint.
I mean, I think that's fine though, because we have so much time still. With how many other guests are still in the mix and still doing things, it's just going to make our missions later on easier as long as we don't wait too long with them.
Yes, the only thing I'm starting to get concerned about is given that both spies have been struggling a little to get into mission win countdown. Sure, we've got flirt done, but that's almost the easiest thing to get done in between other missions. Now we have to try and do all our
bug.
Speaking of bug
here, like the ambassador is giving us a free lineup to just leave, and you know it's not being completely covered by CRAMs. Wrestler opts out of it, but I think that would have been just something to do.
I think, yes, at this point, any mission progress is good mission progress, but we see the...
Instead we pick up a fingerprintable statue, it's green, and now you have to wonder if we had to hit the fingerprint earlier, we'd have been in a much better spot.
Yeah, we still have a minute 30 to find a second print, but that can sometimes be a struggle. Again, not going for this bug, which was, I think, mostly off-screen. Not in time for the briefcase, so back at Windows, back to time adding?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem so.
Not this time. We've got kind of half progress in both soft tails. We're gonna go for the... Wow, that ended up being really perfect.
Ambassador kind of gifted us that one.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It was a lot of help from the Ambassador on that one, but well taken by Wrestler. And now we just need a, we could just go for a print instead. In fact, if we had that print from earlier, we would just be winning, I think.
Banana bread.
Ow. This is very unfortunate, I feel. Lots and lots of lowlights to be taken, and we don't get a real... I don't think anyone got real.
CRAM's not taking any of them, though. I think... recognizing that it's such a terrible contact is trying to figure out what it was covering up.
Well, now we're actually in trouble. This could have been a silent game if we had the print earlier. Everything comes down to that print earlier. White swap now.
White swap.
But Salmon's also on the other side of the venue, potentially doing a swap. Can CRAMs take the shot in time? There it is. It's visible. The shot comes off, but it's too late for sync.
Oh no. That was with 1.8, I think, was the usual amount of lag that would have taken. But
yeah, we took shot at 1.4 in the mission win countdown, and that is unfortunately, in this case, too late for sync by 0.1 seconds. I think we were so close for CRAMs. It's that was literally a matter of milliseconds, and Wrestler gets away with it.
yes, all for being meticulous and waiting for seeing those few frames of the head not being a head anymore. But that's got to feel a little bit rough for CRAMs.
Yeah, absolutely. Now CRAM is a bit on the back foot, but we have seen CRAM's ability to play long sets, to play to the very end, and it's only one SPY win. Just because snipers have been dominant so far doesn't mean that's going to stay the same. CRAM's on the SPY side, playing his teal in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And I think at this point, just upping the pace on SPY side is what CRAMs needs. He's been having very well constructed SPY games that just haven't quite been getting there. Speaking of this chase to the SD didn't quite get there in time.
Yeah, we were hoping that General would sip there and extend some time in conversation enough to get our flirt done, but now we're just playing the follow the red arrow game until we really can't anymore.
Going to books, I think we could follow him there. It's just unfortunate that Ambassador is right next door, so not really ideal.
No, indeed. We're trying to stand behind this pillar.
We're hiding.
We are very nicely covered up. Well done from CRAMs. Sometimes you see a SPY mess it up and they're very visible and they have to like twitch and stuff, but instead we have this offer. Is it going to be a green test purloin? No, it's a white test purloin. It's a tragedy. Oh no.
Now the drink is
drink's visible, but he's sticking there. He doesn't want to move. He's gonna do the sip, but
the drink's gone. We're invisible.
Wrestler
again.
hasn't seen it. Wrestler hasn't seen it. Oh my goodness. He's gotten away with it.
This constant tilt, and we were never seen behind that pillar. And I think Wrestler's got to be a little bit sad here right now.
Okay, we've taken a couple of lowlights based on this purloin, but we are not a highlight. That is huge on 4 of 8 library.
I mean, we could even go flirtless at this point and just contact Inspect Swap.
I mean, I wouldn't advise it. I've experimented with playing flirtless games before, and you really, to make them work, you have to go a little bit faster. But this
Banana bread.
This has all been hilarious.
I mean, this banana bread is also just so good. We lose 1 or 2.
By the way, we're legally invisible here because of Duke covering us up.
We decide not to return the guest list, which, I approve
Tragedy, really.
It would be funny, but I'm not sure it would help our win percentage. And then I think here, the issue is that we will really struggle finishing flirt.
Well, I mean, we can go to center inspects and get this.
It's a white test.
Unfortunate.
I mean, it's technically possible to finish in time, but it might be a little bit obvious if we're having to chase our seduction target around the venue.
Wrestler taking edge camera shake. Not sure if he needs to shoot teal here, I think.
And I think technically, if we can get to our seduction target, it will be tight, but we could get mission completion with overtime.
The instant talk might draw the shot, though. Look at that. We have to be being watched, and the fact that we instant talk here.
It looks so bad, and now we almost have to try and find an excuse to leave conversation and redirect back, because this cooldown is only going to come up a few seconds before the end of the game.
Yeah, we don't want to see overtime. We do see the leave from the conversation, but we're going to have to go back to the same spot, and we're one of the few highlights in this game, and there's a lot of lowlights.
Coming back for the...
this
might be enough to get us shot.
I think this is
so
going to be enough, yeah.
Just
Wrestler,
a little bit rough there.
Able to find the shot based on the flirt timing at the end. and takes the first sweep, meaning that Wrestler right now is in a pretty good spot.
Despite the very well executed pillar shenanigans, despite it being a white chest, despite having to gulp this drink, I'm just approving of the spy game here.
Of course you are. Wrestler now on the spy side, playing as Duke. Second round of library. CRAM's going to need to find some sniper stability here. We've seen mostly of that from CRAM's, of course. Only the one spy win so far in this set. Any more could really send this going off in any direction, I think, depending on who takes the spy wins. Let's get it going. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And not quite the game of Chase the Red Arrow. A little bit more risky to play on library where people can bounce around a lot.
We are still chasing the red arrow, it's just a little bit delayed this time.
Right, yeah. Bit of time to admire the view first. And it's a green test.
Green test, 51%. ST walks away. Now we have reason to move. We could go for a bug here. We could stick our arm just inside the ambassador. I wouldn't mind it too much. The ambassador unfortunately moves away before we can, have that consideration happen. Oh, we're going for that far briefcase. We can actually just put this right back down and kind of cheese it. Like, look at because of how Duke picks up and puts down briefcases. I love this from Wrestler.
Yeah, this is such an easy print to miss for C-Rams. And now we're lining up for what would have been a golden bug distance, except that Sari's now going to chase the ambassador away.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but it would have been hard to make that bug happen anyway. Flirt happens, 89%. One more flirt of any flavor except for red will do.
And now I think we just need to keep an eye out for another fingerprint. It looks like Inspex is going to be one of the other missions, and then Contact.
Yeah, pretty quick completion here potentially. Early Inspecs I like, just because, we got interrupted on the Inspect. We didn't quite get that in time.
I think having to come back for a second round...
Oh, we're just recycling. We don't care.
Oh dear. But it's fine. No one watches... I mean, who would recycle?
CRAMs did last game, but we'll ignore that.
The main issue I can see here is that there's not a ton of fingerprints around this venue.
No, I think Sorry did just delete the one on blue bookcase, which is going to be back soon enough, fortunately for us. So we could go for Contact and then go for the belated blue bookcase, but instead we're bounced away. We don't try to force our way over to the DA.
Yeah, because this Contact could be quite good if we were able to take it. There's our print on blue, but it's a very obvious print.
Fairly obvious, but we have to, we might have to go for it quickly. Double Agent leaves conversation. Things are kind of falling apart here for Wrestler. Look at that camera shake.
I think we just have to now go to blue, get our print, and then depending on where the Double Agent is, we might just have to go in for a swap.
Yeah. Well, Double Agent's currently in conversation.
The print?
Print is taken. We leave with the book, so we're not leaving ourselves the option to open up swap in the end game. However, it does make the sniper maybe a little bit less likely to shoot because we have that book in hand, and maybe we could still be doing something with that. But we need to Contact now. We can't risk this Double Agent walking away from us now. We've seen it too often today. Wow,
there
shot comes off immediately. Did not hesitate.
I'm not sure. I mean, it seems a lot to expect that CRAMs saw that first print. If he did, of course, it's a very easy shot. But if he didn't, I'm amazed that he manages to take this.
Yeah, maybe the behavior of it all was just a little bit too much for CRAMs. And now back to Library Spy Ponytail once again. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Hoping to try and, return the sweep and get back to even. That was awkward, but it was off screen, so it's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine as long as it's off screen. This is the immortal truth of SpyParty.
And we have quite a nice chance for a bug, depending on which way our ambassador chooses to take.
Ooh,
And it takes.
It takes.
That was sick.
I honestly didn't expect that to take, but CRMs makes it work. Beautiful stuff. Bug done. And that very well could be the spy game CRMs was looking for to bring it right back to even in this set. Because, you know, it's 4 of 8 library and just a clean bug done. That's more than enough to win a game in a lot of cases. And double agents in conversation with us. We could just finish flirt, contact now, go to center inspects immediately, or in fact, we see someone at center inspects right now. We could go inspect, swap. 2 minutes left in the venue. Surely Wrestler's not going to take a shot that early, right?
It seems that any rush play here is going to be so unlikely to even induce a shot with that bug.
Oh yeah, I think CRMs is exactly on the same page as I am here. Here comes the swap frame for Rocker, but it's just so early, and we're gonna be in mission win countdown so soon that we might have. Wait, no, we're not swapping. Oh, I would have really liked to see a swap there.
Still time, but no swap. And I guess now the
I guess we'll just do
finish.
contact. Fine.
Slightly less exciting for the casters. Well, you know, if we can get the double agent in conversation. We've got 2 minutes.
This game already ends in CRM's favor like 30 seconds ago if we take that swap. I'm like 98, 99% sure. I'm more sure that we survive that than we survive our contact. I'm not gonna lie.
There's still time to.
But we survive both pretty easily, I think.
Okay, he's in conversation. Go.
Go. We cannot. You know, we've seen a lot of contact and die, or contact and the or you know, just attempts at it and the double agent leaves. Here it goes, contact. Still 1 minute and 17 left on the clock, and the bug is so clean. There's just no way. There's no way. Little bit of hover there, but CRM gets away.
Yeah, that was slightly less of a guaranteed win. I think Wrestler was seriously considering that shot.
I actually think that with how that contact ended up working, we survive the swap more often.
But either way, we take the win and back to all tied up, which at this point might be making CRMs worry about the prospect of more infinite balcony.
Oh, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. But given how this set has been going, but dang, that would be brutal.
All tied up. Another 4 games to go. And can Wrestler or C-Rams pull out ahead? That
is the big question here. Wrestler now on the spy side of gallery, playing as Rocker in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I'll note, Scout, that my scoreboard only goes to 12-12.
So we've got to hope for non-infinite balcony.
Indeed.
We didn't take any kind of bug, even though the depth perception on gallery is weird. It looked like we were in standing bug range, but we weren't, and we're just playing it reasonably safe. This would be a perfect time for an action test microphone.
Yeah, it would be. You know, ambassadors out front, lots of party cover, but we don't go for it.
Missions are passé, haven't you heard?
I have not heard. I will never hear. I close my ears to what you say to me.
Wrestler being very respectful, not even trying to go across for that flirt, and well, I say that. I said that.
Not so respectful now.
We have our green flirt at least.
Look at this double zoom on front conversation. Perfect time to cheese a book, do a purloin, anything.
But back around to chasing Seek, I guess.
The red triangle is just too delicious. You know, it says seduction target, but I think it's actually seductive target for spies. I saw that bug.
Well,
Yeah, I I was gonna say I wasn't very impressed, and neither was CRAMS. Takes the shot as soon as wrestler stops moving.
I'm kind of impressed that he does take that shot since it was almost entirely off screen. But that was a little bit of a wild path.
Indeed, it was. Now CRAMS on the spy side playing as Duke here.
In
3, 2, 1, playing it. Sorry, I had to do stuff with the scoreboard. I don't want to be OP scoreboarded. Chat bullies me.
CRAM's at the bookcase with a decent amount of cover, but we do have Toby standing right in front of us, so this might not be the best time.
Oh,
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Honestly,
we
get highlight. We get highlight. This is bad.
Yeah, Toby just being right in front of us when Wrestler was double zooming was a little bit brutal.
It was less Toby being there and more the double zoom, in my opinion.
Well, the double zoom was because Toby was there, you know.
I mean, sorta, kinda.
Still trucking away, getting more mission progress. But I'm a little bit worried if we try to finish microfilm.
A little bit of a wonky path there from CRAMS, but surely Wrestler won't punish that. We say, having seen bunches of pathing lights this set so far.
It's fine. I don't know what you're concerned about.
Oh, that's a low light for Buns for sure. Beautiful.
Apparently not. Apparently it's a white test. No, it's a green test flirt, which only gets us to 89%.
89%'s pretty good, though. We have one half of the microfilm, unfortunately, a highlight because of it. Some flirt progress. And some inspect progress as well.
And coming into finish inspects, this is slightly dangerous because it could even be an inspect swap, and Wrestler might just decide to shoot us. But
Inspect swap, finish print, finish microfilm. Sorry, not finish print, finish flirt, finish microfilm. Silent game. We're done in the next 25 seconds. Do I think we'd actually survive that? No, probably not, because of the scenario we're in. But I think it would be fun.
And, you know, why play for the best chance of winning when you could play for the most?
I actually don't think it's the worst chance of winning. You know, we're a pretty big suspect as it is, and we've gotten full inspects. You know, getting things done is an important part of winning the game.
Well, CRAM's valiantly continuing on getting things done. Of course, has no idea how much suspicion he has for that first microfilm, but
no, I don't think he does. We might be trying to like go to like the front, you know, pad there to get a microfilm done, but Ambassador is going to be out front. I don't know.
We could just read our book here in microfilm. I'm not saying it would be a great decision, but we could.
It is something that is technically allowed. I don't think I've seen a spy do it, like, ever, though.
I mean, the worst part is we can't even slam this book at the end.
In the end of red.
Because we have the microfilm in our pocket. There's the reel.
There's the reel. It's a white test, unfortunately, which does make us look a little bit worse.
No highlights taken at all. I think Wrestler is maybe just so secure in his mission count.
Yeah, 30 seconds. We're just gonna have to get this microfilm done, but look at how big and bright our arm is, and boop, there it is. There's the shot. Wrestler was double zoomed on it, and it was a white test.
Yeah, I think CRAM's played the best he could on the amount of information he had, but I think was always going to be dead on the next microfilm.
Well,
so
that means we're still even.
7-7.
7-7. Going into a high-rise 4 of 8. With Wrestler playing as Pearls here next.
And this is the last chance stop for a sweep to take out the set.
That is true.
To Balcony.
That is true. After this, if it's still even Stevens, we go to Balcony, which I'm sure CRAMS is going to be very happy about.
I mean, he's had so much practice at it recently.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Lots and lots of balcony practice recently. Wrestler, maybe not so much. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I think it's a little bit rough to be trying to take out the win here with a bit of a venue setup that hasn't really been played that much. I think a lot of people still aren't so used to what's available as options here.
Yeah, that's true. However, what I would say is that, if you think that you're better than your opponent, then maybe both of you being unused to something might, be in your favor because you're going to be more flexible, more able to adapt. So, this very well could end the set in the, quote, better player's favor. Or at least, the person playing better on the day.
Yeah. Interesting that we were at books to flirt, but then didn't want to take any book out. I almost think that microfilm on high rise is a better mission because it's so often not enabled and snipers just aren't in the habit of having to guard it.
Yeah, microfilm I think is definitely underrated as far as missions go, especially on these venues, as you say, where it's not a typical mission. See our last flirt? No, we're gonna go into green books here.
Where I think there is a print.
There is indeed. Very nicely spotted, Scout. We have one print for Wrestler here with 3 out of, 2 out of 3 flirts.
The slight issue with getting our print here is that we've now been at both bookcases, and I mean, much as we probably won't be credited with it, it is just another level of worry the sniper will have to have about us.
Yeah, absolutely. However, there's a lot of highlights, and we're not one of them, so that might be very helpful for us going forward. Ambassador's now at the other bookcase, so we could go back to blue again to get that last flirt. Our last print, rather. Here's our last flirt at the window pad, or the painting pad, rather.
I'm still a little bit concerned though, because even once we finish fingerprint, it is currently 1 minute 20 and we need 2 more missions.
So we go to a side statue. I feel like Wrestler really does side statues quite a lot compared to center statues, or, and it's not great for the pacing. And weirdly enough, there was a weird bit of camera shake there as we went into this one. Maybe we thought there was a print there.
That would explain why we were there. And, I mean, there is still bug, by the way. Bug?
We actually Perlin instead and then bug, but look at that. CRMs was watching really closely, and yep, there's the shot.
Yeah, I stared down, I guess. It looked so tasty, though.
Alright, now CRM's on the spy side. Another Pearls game, actually. And this is match point. We finally have a match point, and it's in CRM's favor. But we've only seen 2 spy wins, 1 from each player. And that's what we're going to have to find if we don't want to go to balcony overtime. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And running back the Pearls spy choice. Sailing in a completely useless conversation. While Ambassador's busy putting down prints.
Yeah, can't always find our red arrow immediately, especially when they're at books with someone next to them.
I do wish we were seeing, or will see, some sort of book play. I think it's so easy to do. We've got the screen covering half of the green books. We've got the plant in front of the blue books. It's one of the most covered action test microfilm venues at all.
Yeah, it's definitely a good option. I've done it many times on both the 3 of 8 variant and the 4 of 8 variant, and gotten away with it a good amount. So it's a nice shout out. Everyone's in conversation except the double agent. Now double agent joins, so we go for the fake contact, which is perfect. So there is no one to low light, and there is no reason not for the spy not to take it. So there is literally no information gained for the sniper, and instead everyone now has a potential contact.
Yes, and I think both of the statues at the end of the hallway have fingerprints on them. So if we did want to go for that, that's a ready-made mission completion just waiting for us.
That indeed is true. Unfortunately, we don't have any progress. We got that perfect contact, but the SDA was in our conversation, and the DA was in the other conversation. So a little bit, wrong place, wrong time for CRMs.
And I think what's not how. That could have been.
Oh, it's a white test purloin, unfortunately, here for CRMs. We were looking, I think this would have been a really nice purloin otherwise, but look at that highlight immediately. I think maybe just because Wrestler can't see it, or did see it, and is already narrowing this party down.
General is low lit. So
I'm surprised. I didn't even think that Wrestler could see it when that white purloin was taken, but must have caught the barest of glimpses, and identifies that is gone now.
Which is very rough, given that the party was quite quiet before that. There's no one who really had a chance to build themselves up all that much suspicion. I mean, as we could see from being able to take a perfect contact, everyone was just in conversation, and so trying to frame here is a little bit rough.
That it is. CRM's a highlight. 55 seconds left. I don't think there's really any way we complete missions here. We just have to hope someone else dies with the contact being done.
There's still 40 seconds of game, and I mean, there's no point uttering another contact to try and provoke a shot. It's already been said.
Yeah, and the spy, Wrestler just has to
even
credit
speed
everyone.
running, I'm not sure we can finish at this point.
Oh, speed running you probably can, because well, maybe not as Pearls, honestly, but I think you can make it happen because you just don't have to worry about how good your bug is. We're going for a swap frame, but unfortunately, Wrestler watching this very closely, one could say. Oh, the zoom out right as the fade happens, very well could have. Well, actually, hold on. For us. So if that zoom out had cost Wrestler the set there, that would have been devastating. But I think did just get a glimpse of it despite that, and now we are indeed onto balcony.
And now for the purest, most pared down, raw expression of skill and green tests. So at this point,
if you phrase it like that, you sound like you're being sarcastic.
I'm being slightly sarcastic. I think, at this point, both spies have played. I think both snipers have been just completely obliterating, and the spies haven't had that much of a chance. And it is a little bit of a difficulty for snipers who aren't used to playing balcony to be dropped into it as a way to decide a match.
Yeah, here we go. CRAMS has had a lot of practice here. Maybe that's to his advantage. On the other hand, this is the end of 2 long sets, potentially, and that's exhausting. So we'll see how well CRM's going to hold up, or if Wrestler indeed will take the berth into semifinals to face Nebula in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
When you say taking the berth to face Nebula, I'm not sure that's really much of a prize to win.
Well,
in the end of red.
That's fair enough. Green contact, unfortunately, we do see a low light as we get a bail out of the conversation. However, no talk is good.
And I think Kane gets quite hard contact credit for a white contact there because of that split. Unfortunately, we don't have any flirt, and our ST is currently at Windows.
And not just currently at Windows, currently getting briefcase. This is going to be a difficult time to complete missions on. However, you don't always have to on balcony.
No, I mean, there's always our emergency bug option, but this won't be a 50% flirt no matter what kind of color we hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to, what the strategy might be from here on out. I think it'd be interesting to, try to talk more, but like not like too much to be flirting in a way that you're never going to be completing missions. So other people are going to move around a little bit more, or like, I don't know. But maybe you don't want them moving around because you want them in conversation to be able to talk more.
I think at this point, our main hope is either a civ shot or to be able to line up a bug that's
pretty quick
good
talk
enough.
Here from Kane as he enters the conversation. One of our highlights. Does the shot come off? No, not yet. 22 seconds on the clock. We're going to have to either bug or see a civ shot. It could be very well a last-second bug and hope that the sniper is lined up onto someone who was talking in the last 10 seconds as the play here. Wrestler out to windows. What's going on? We hit the flirt, but that's not gonna matter. It's a white test time out of here, but only one person was checking their watch. C-Rams knows that there were 3 people at windows though. But only one person was checking the watch.
And there won't be overtime now. He has to be either absolutely certain.
Kane's talking pretty quickly on entering the conversation. Surely not. Surely not. Wrestler can't get away with this, right? We have one more chat to our seduction target, but it's canceled. The ST leaves. We don't get it off in time. Wrestler talking, but it's useless. Safety's off, but no one's getting shot yet. ST comes back, and it's going to be enough time to get the flirt off, but it is going to be overtime this time because of that bail. There's overtime, and Wrestler gets shot by C-Rams. C-Rams might have just been saved by the ST bailing.
I think we were almost certainly saved by the ST bailing, because if we weren't willing to shoot for that third talk, I'm not sure as sniper it's so obvious that couldn't have come off as a flirt. That got really tight for C-Rams there.
Yeah, that was crazy right there. Oh my goodness. C-Rams barely holding out on that one, except it maybe should have been easier because, despite the fact there were a bunch of people at windows, only one of them did the watch tech animation. And that's, you have to do that to be able to add time. So,
it's unfortunate
for C-Rams. But I say unfortunate for C-Rams, but won the game. Unfortunate for Wrestler, really. C-Rams made the mistake. Wrestler got just truly and utterly bailed on there by the ST. Unfortunate for Wrestler. I changed my statement.
And now has to try and bring it back on sniper side.
Yeah, and this very well could be the last game. Winning twice on balcony overtime could C-Rams be to get all the way into the semifinals here. But nothing certain yet. It's just match point. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
This is a party spread, I guess.
Everyone wants their back facing away from the wall. Not the wall, the balcony, the overhang.
Yeah, they don't want to look out upon the plebs of the city.
No. They also don't want to look at the red laser that's kind of circling them right now. No,
yeah,
everyone's deciding to ignore it.
Yeah, just be polite. Pretend it isn't there.
That's what high society is all about.
As we have to start talking, but our seduction target has left, so it's an entirely pointless talk apart from to get us more suspicion.
Oh, beautiful low light. Beautiful low light.
You hate to see that on Spy side.
Yeah, you see that on Spy side, if the sniper at all knows anything at all about pathing, that's a low light immediately.
And we're a little bit short on flirt and
yes,
time.
Indeed. As I mentioned, as mentioned before, you don't have to get your missions done to win at balcony, but it does help.
But I think C-Rams is sort of committed now to, you know,
That's what we said
basically
last time about
hoping.
Wrestler's Spy. Then we saw a time ad, and we actually got to the mission win countdown. But look at these highlights talking, doing things. What's going to happen? Wrestler needs to find a hold here to stay in this set. Otherwise, C-Rams is going to move on to the semifinals through another balcony overtime. Irish is talking. Wait, we bugged! We bugged! We wrong arm bugged away from the sniper, and Wrestler hasn't seen it! Oh my goodness, is that how it goes? C-Rams finds the victory on balcony after all of this, and plays so many games, so hard fought, and makes it to semifinals.
I think, wow, that's a lot of balcony. C-Ram's just managing to, I mean, full props to him there for that bug. That was deserving of making it through.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, it's only because it's General. This bug would look terrible on anybody else, but right for General, you can really only see the open hand.
Yeah, it's just very well timed.
Yeah, and Wrestler was unfortunately like moving laser to go low light pearls in the exact same moment. So it just ends up being, you know, perfect storm of getting away with this bug and C-Rams taking the victory in the end.
And getting that highly coveted spot to semi-finals where he gets the joy of playing Nebula.
Yes. You know, C-Rams
is a bit of a rough time.
C-Rams strong player and is going to need to do a lot of research, I think, if you know, to match up to Nebula. Nebula is just on a roll here. But you know, C-Rams has done it before. C-Rams has made big things happen in the past. So I'm not losing hope just yet.
No. And well, that's it for this side of the bracket.
Indeed it is. And if you'd like to see the other side of the bracket, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is a timestamp in the Discord, in the cast announcements channel, that will give you the time of day in your own time zone. So if you don't want to convert from 3 p.m. Eastern, go look at that. That will be you'll be seeing Scout versus Martini and Yosh versus Minirek in those in that cast. So that'll be a fun one. Don't miss it tomorrow. And of course, thank you, Scout, for casting with me.
Oh, thank you for hosting.
And I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.